You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, if you want to see a fool talk, all you got to do is look at the news conference that Donald Trump gave today, folks, where he came out for the cameras talking about, of course, Operation Warp Speed and coronavirus. I mean, sounding like a complete fool. I mean, first of all, again, he's been, you know, for somebody who constantly complained about Joe Biden during the election hiding in a basement. Well, Trump has been hiding in his own basement, so shell-shocked about him getting his butt beat by Joe Biden. He's been so afraid to talk to the public. Here we are going through a significant coronavirus crisis. And finally, he decides to come out today for share a few words. Y'all ready for the stupidity? Here we go.
It's beautiful out here this time of year. In the past 9 months, my administration has initiated the single greatest mobilization in U.S. history, pioneering, developing, and manufacturing therapies and vaccines in record time, numbers like nobody's seen before. No medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it, and I had tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do, and we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China virus vaccine is more than 90% effective. This far exceeds any and all expectations. Nobody thought they'd get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses, with the option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our investment will make it possible for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge. Pfizer said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be an unfortunate misrepresentation. They are part. That's why we gave them the $1.95 billion, and it was an unfortunate mistake that they made when they said that. We will work to secure an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, and it will be approved. I think, again, it will be approved very, very quickly, we hope. The average development timeline for the vaccine, including clinical tests and manufacturing, can take 8 to 12 years. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're doing it in less than 1 year.
That was all that drivel. That's all that drivel. Now, he was so hilarious. Brian Karem, of course, who is the White House correspondent for Playboy. Donald Trump made this statement, took no questions, but listen to the question Brian posed.
Mr. President, you lost the election. When will you admit that you lost the election? When will you admit you lost the election, sir? Mr. President, you lost the election. When will you admit that you lost the election? When will you admit you lost the election, sir?
See, that's when you know you are such a spoiled brat. When you can't even accept reality. You come before the cameras today, November 13th. The election is over. Election is over. And I don't know nothing. We're bringing my panel, Gary Chambers, Jr., publisher, The Rouge Collection, Michael M. Hotep, host, the African History Network show, Amisha Cross, political analyst, and Democratic strategist. Gary, talk about hilarious. A 74-year-old grown-ass baby That's who he is. I mean, scared to take questions. Okay, Mr. Normally, running his mouth, talking smack, talking about Sleepy Joe, living in his basement. Looks like that was a smart strategy because he beat your ass.
Facts. You know, I think that this is a window into the instability of Trump, right? That this guy cannot face reality. He's been in an alternative universe the entire time that he's been president. He is such a disgrace to this country. And I think it's really time for Republicans to have some sort of backlash for their refusal to admit that this guy is a disgrace, for them to distance themselves from him. And I'm just wondering, how long will the American people allow this to go on, right? There are raging numbers of coronavirus all over this country. And the guy is basically having a temper tantrum in the White House, where he's like, I don't want to do it anymore. You don't want me to be president? I'm just not going to do the job anymore, and he's not.
I mean, it is. I mean, he comes out with this news conference, Amisha, and I mean, again, just doesn't want to confront the reality that it's over. It's over. And he has no dignity. He has, just no class whatsoever. I mean, other presidents have lost. President George H.W. Bush was the last president to lose re-election. Gracious in defeat. Not this sucker.
But Roland, we knew this. We expected that Trump would not be someone not only who's gracious in defeat, but can even be respectful and acknowledge that he's been defeated. I think that it shows something that in how many days after the election, he still isn't able to come out and say anything. Heck, Georgia just went to Biden today, and we still haven't heard anything from Donald Trump related to the election at all, other than the things that he tweets about. I don't think that anything about today's speech was surprising. He had announced previous to the speech that he was going to be talking about Pfizer and basically trying to take credit for a vaccine. But I think that what we should be pushing on harder is the fact that there is a Republican contingency that is so afraid of losing Trump's base, that is so afraid of losing that attentiveness, those fundraising dollars, and everything that Trump and his body politic brought to this, that they will not confront and stand up and say, quite frankly, that this is over, that Joe Biden is the president-elect, that, these lawsuits, they're frivolous, they're stupid, they're not going anywhere. What we have is a Republican contingency that even in the face of defeat at the presidential level, refuses to have the conversation and bring this man to grips with the fact that he lost, but also refuses to have that conversation with the American public. And they continue to cover for him because they're afraid that his base will turn against them. That, I think, is more demonstrative of where the party is going than it is of Donald Trump.
But the thing here, Michael, is just, first of all, it's laughable. I mean, I keep telling people I don't need Donald Trump to come out and concede. When you got your ass whooped, you got your ass whooped.
Exactly.
But just to watch a whiny big, I mean, the only thing he was missing was a sippy cup.
Roland, I was listening to some of it today. I listened to maybe about 5 minutes, and I turned it off, brother. I turned to D.L. Hughley. Seriously. So I went back and read about some of what he said. I heard the interview that Governor Cuomo did, Governor Andrew Cuomo on MSNBC, because Trump singled out New York and said that when the vaccines come out, they're going to go to every state except the state of New York. So, so the way this fool acted, and in the silence, so this is people have to understand, this is the first time he's spoken since in about the last 8 days, spoken publicly. Now, he's been tweeting, but he hasn't been tweeting about coronavirus. So if we look at yesterday, November 12th, 152,000 new cases of coronavirus set a record again. 9th consecutive day where you had 100,000 new cases or more. 9th consecutive day. And then you have basically a record number of people hospitalized right now with coronavirus, 66,000 as of yesterday. So the way he continues to act, he acts like a bully, because a bully can dish it out, but a bully can't take it. And a bully can't take defeat. So the way he acted confirmed the 75 million votes, 76 million votes that Joe Biden has. and they're still coming in. And then Arizona was called for Joe Biden today as well. Okay, now we already knew Arizona was going. 2:50 a.m. November 4th, Wednesday, the Associated Press called it for Joe Biden in Arizona, but Arizona was called for Joe Biden today as well. So this once again confirms his defeat, but we got to watch him because he's dangerous. What he's doing, the moves he's making with the Pentagon, he's dangerous right now. But once again, the way he acted today, that confirmed us whipping his ass at the ballot box.
I mean, look, all the people besides themselves, Gary, I'm just enjoying the sullen, shock, devastation, whiny, I'm loving it. And they're getting their ass whooped every place in court. I mean,
yes,
they ain't winning nowhere. They've already pulled out of Arizona. The judge ruled against them in Michigan. And it's kind of like, accept the ass whooping. He's trying to fight. He ordered one of the cyber officials to be fired, who released a statement yesterday saying that there was nothing wrong with the election. And his boss like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, see, this is the moment where finally the Trump people, I guess, remember the movie The Brothers, where Chiwetel Ejiofor was the thug, and then they were out on Lake Michigan, and then they all turned against him, and he was talking that trash. Man, kill him. They were like, nah, we gonna kill you. That's what you're dealing with. Finally, his folks should be sitting here saying, nah, we gonna ignore you. And fine, you want to fire me, fire me. At some point, folks got to have some integrity to say, no, what you're doing is simply un-American, and we're not going to do it.
Well, I think that this is when, people have to recognize that, there is change coming, right? That there is a change in this administration coming. And the folks that are in there, I think it is time for them to stand up, right? The American citizens who have held their peace for the last 4 years, trying to hold the framework of this democratic republic together. I think those folks now have an opportunity to stick their middle finger up at Trump and say, we here. A lot of those folks have protections. It's time for the career government employees to say, change is coming and we holding tight, because, he is going to, I think the brother was absolutely right. We don't know how far he's going to go before Election Day. And while it is fun to watch him be a spoiled brat, it is also concerning that the leadership around him in the Republican Party is not mobilizing to figure out how to get him to just accept defeat and move on.
Looks like we lost Gary there. There we go. Gary's back. Go ahead, Gary.
This is the opportunity for Republicans to begin to attempt to redeem themselves instead of continuing to wallow in the filth that is Donald Trump.
I mean, the thing here that we do have to be concerned about, Amisha, is, again, we're dealing with people. It's about power. It's about power. And what they're doing is they're just simply trying to make him feel good. I mean, this is sort of like parents. Can you just give the baby a cookie so they can stop crying? Can you just put them on the nipple? I mean, so they can stop crying. I mean, that's what you're dealing with Donald Trump. You're dealing with, I'm telling you, I mean, dealing with him is like me sitting here looking at my brothers and sisters having kids going, man, what y'all gonna do to quiet that baby?
To a certain extent, but this is actually populism 101. What we see in this Trump administration is basically dictatorial regime, and dictators don't give up power easily. And because he has this vetted base, and a base that's actually larger this go round in 2020 than it even was in 2016, he's emboldened. He's emboldened because the media let him get away with everything and run wild. He's emboldened because he was able to weaponize social media, not only in terms of spreading and massively spreading his lies, but also in terms of creating a stronger base. And I think that what we've seen now is someone who is going to ride off into the sunset with these individuals, and the RNC and the Republican Party that supports it. And they support it because they don't want to lose this newfound resonance they have with a crowd of people that didn't do anything with the Republican Party before. We have to remember that these are people who are largely, they know that Trump's already lost this race. I don't think anybody is confused about that. But when it comes to the fundraising apparatus and the fact that the majority of the funds that he is raising is going directly to the RNC, is going directly into these fights for the runoffs, is going directly to the Republican base, that is what they're looking forward to. So he may be crazy, but he's crazy as a fox. The man is sly. He's not as off the wall, baby Penny-anic as people think that he is. Yes, he is self-absorbed, and that's a problem in and of itself. But when you give a dictator room to grow, they will continue to grow. I'm more interested in what happens with the party after this, but also what Trump funnels his energies and these people into. Because I don't think this is the last we're going to hear of this type of regime, because the Republicans can't just turn that switch. Without Trump, they still have to give some type of red meat to this base, and they're not willing to let that base go.
Well, but
we're going to have to pay close attention to it.
Yeah, but Michael, what we're already hearing these folks say is that before he's got to get out of the White House, he's going to announce that he's going to run in 2024. I'm going, yeah, but you better hope Tish James don't indict your behind.
Exactly.
This is, and you know what, Michael? Here's the other deal. You got a lot of people out here who are saying, what are Democrats doing? They should be fighting this. He got to get off the stage. No. If you're Joe Biden, you're sitting here saying, y'all, give your little attention. Because when I get sworn in, I'm the president. See, this is where here's the deal. When somebody has no bottom, there's no such thing as a new low. Okay? Right. There's no such thing as a new low. If you're Joe Biden, your time right now is best spent with your VP-elect Kamala Harris and you building out your team. Right. You're sitting here determining who you're going to be the cabinet picks, who's going to work in your administration. Let the circus is going to leave town. What you don't do is try to put on your show while the chaotic circus is in town. Let the chaotic circus leave and then handle your business.
Exactly. We see that Joe Biden has announced Ron Klain as his chief of staff, who's going to be his chief of staff. Joe Biden announced the people who are going to be on his coronavirus team earlier this week. So Biden doesn't need to respond to the lunacy that is Donald Trump. Everything that Donald Trump does or tweets, Biden doesn't have to respond to that. Biden is being more of a president now than Donald Trump has been these past 3.5, almost 4 years. But Trump said he's going to run again in 2024. Trump is trying to keep raising money. That's what this is about, okay? It's not just Letitia James in the state of New York. It's also Cy Vance in New York as well. Remember, when we go back to the conviction of Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's attorney for 10 years, and Michael Cohen provided documentation to corroborate the allegations he was making against Trump. There, if I remember correctly, it's about 14 unsealed indictments there in one of the districts in New York, okay? When he leaves office, that stuff is going to be revealed. The other thing is he can run again in 2024, but I think Cy Vance will have had Donald Trump's taxes by then, and it would be revealed. So then Trump is going to have to, if he's dumb enough to run again, he's going to have to deal with that. He can't run again in 2024 and say he's not going to reveal his taxes and say he's still under audit. Well, hold on, you were under audit 9 years before that in 2015.
Man, he gonna lie. He gonna lie. First of all, this whole deal I'm running is a big old ruse. Here's the reality. He needs the attention. He has to be center stage. And that's the deal. They're trying to create this political action committee. They want to stay in the game. But what they want to be able to do is they got to feed the beast. They got to keep booking events at his properties. They got to keep doing it at his hotels. And he wants to keep a stranglehold on the Republican Party. He's already announced Roland McDaniel is going to be endorsing her to stay on his GOP chair. If the Republican Party was smart, Like I said, if they were smart, when they vote in January, the first thing they would do is say, nah, she got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But look, they might want to keep crazy. But I do think what has to happen is, like right now, they're freaking out because he basically hasn't tweeted anything about the Georgia race. He hasn't said anything at all. And in fact, they're even wondering, is he going to even come to Georgia and campaign? All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, this is the Seat.com virtual reality headset. What happens is you just pop your phone right into here, and then when you close it up, you can actually look at the content on Seat.com, their VR content, or you can look at other 360-degree video that puts you right into the room. So, like, literally, you could just be looking all over. And so, Mary Spio is the founder of the company. She's the innovator behind this, a black woman, sister from Ghana. And so that's their VR headset. They also have these 360-degree 4D headphones. A tremendous bass that covers all across your head. Great sound. Gamers love them. You can attach a headset to this as well. It's Bluetooth. Folks, if you want to get either one of these devices, go to Seek.com, Seek.com. That's Seek.com, Seek.com. Use the promo code RMVIP2020. RMVIP 2020 and check that out. And so we certainly appreciate them being partners with us here at Roland Martin Unfiltered, where we, of course, support black-owned businesses like Seek.com. And also go to their site. You can also subscribe to their monthly content that's right there on Seek.com.